Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. I'm out here on the hunting grounds trying to get a lot of work done. It's incredibly windy today. I'd planned on actually getting a lot of stuff done as far as like management objectives. I was going to go through and cut a lot of trees and just get things ready to go, because as the weather's warming up, we're going to be out here a lot more working on the hunting grounds. Well, with the heavy winds today, I figured if I can't cut down trees, then I'm going to go in, I'm going to cut burn breaks for prescribed burns that we're going to be doing here coming up as soon as the weather conditions are right. There you go, here's the wind, you can hear it. It's howling today. One thing I do want to say for sure before I get too far in this video is just talking about prescribed burning. If you are not educated in prescribed burning, if you just never done it, if you've never been trained, then make sure you seek out a professional's help. By professional, somebody that's done it, that knows exactly what they're doing, because the work that I'm doing today is a hard work, and that's the work that takes a lot of time. The burning takes very little time, but you want to make sure everything beforehand is done perfectly right. That way, when you do a burn, it goes correctly, it doesn't get out of hand. But this can be very dangerous, but it is a very beneficial tool. It's very cost effective, and it's probably one of the best things that you can do to your property. Now what we've got here is a really nice burn break. You got Journey sitting on it. She's enjoying the cooler soil maybe down there because it is warming up a little bit today. My burn breaks are going to be anywhere probably from 5 to 7 feet on average, depending on the terrain, depending on the vegetation that I'm going through. If it's really thick, I'm going to try to get it a lot wider. Maybe sometimes on the hillsides, if I can, I'm going to get it wider. You can see I've still got some debris left down this trail, and what I like to do is, normally if you can, it works best to get somebody on the leaf blower working up in front of you, or getting a guy with a chainsaw and some loppers working up in front of you, and then you come behind with the leaf blower. But what I like to do is I like to get the leaf blower, go through, cut a trail, have somebody following me up with a chainsaw and some loppers, and go through and cut all this stuff out of the burn break and throwing it on the opposite side of where it's going to be burning. That way you don't pile up the fuel on the side that's going to be burning and have all that big old pile up right before the burn break where it could possibly blow over or cross over in some way, shape, or form. But I'm out here by myself today, so what I'm doing is I've gone through and got the leaf blower and I've blown this trail out. And then what I'm going to end up doing is getting the chainsaw, getting some loppers, and going back through this trail and clearing it of anything that crosses this path or any deadfalls. Or I can actually even show you right up here. One thing that would be a concern here, especially in hill country, because we're on a slight hill here, is this log right here. So you got a dead log, it's on the uphill side, it's on the side I'm going to be burning. So what we're going to end up actually doing is rolling it down and across, because what you don't want to do is start a fire, have that on the side that you're going to be burning. It's on the hill slope. As you get some of this vegetation and debris burnt out from underneath it, it gives way, it's on fire, and then it rolls downhill and catches the rest of the woods on fire that you did not intend to. So anytime you can do that, definitely go back through and clean that up. There's another one of those trees. You can see I couldn't move that. A lot of times what I'll do when I'm going through and I'm blowing these breaks is, if I can kick the debris out of the way, I'll kick it out of the way. But this is a very long dead tree that I definitely couldn't cut or break because it's pretty new. But we'll come back through with the chainsaw, cut it up, and throw it across. So now when I'm blowing my breaks, it's not a once and done kind of thing. I'll come in, blow the break out the best I can, and I've always found that if you go backtracking, so you turn around after you're done and go back the opposite way, you're going to be able to catch all that debris that you couldn't catch with the blower coming one way. You're going to catch it the opposite way, and you're going to get a much better break that's going to be a lot cleaner right down to the soil. So I always come through, do the best I can in one direction, and I turn around when I'm done and I go right back. Now what I'll do too is, this doesn't mean that a week from now or 2 weeks from now when I'm ready to burn that my trail is going to be clear. So before I come back in and I burn, we'll come back through, walk the trail with the leaf blower, make sure the leaves haven't blown across, and we'll clean it up before we burn. Now I want to show you guys exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing here. This area that I want to be burning is on average probably about 30 to 60 yards wide, probably more closer to 60 on average, but there are some areas that's only going to be about 30 yards. And what I have as the other break is this green food plot right up here in the front of my property. So one thing that I'm really going to be focusing on this year is really building the native habitat. You can see here I got this really green lush food plot. I've got the redneck soft-sided gilly blind back there, and it goes straight into mature timber. And what I'm looking to do is I'm going to do a very heavy cut through here. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'll be doing some hinge cutting. I'll be cutting some of these right down on ground level and spraying them. And then I'm also going to be cutting some of these and probably having a logger come out and take some of these logs off my hand. But my goal for this is to have a good transition area. Right now it goes straight into hardwoods, into the food plot. If I come in here and do a very heavy cut, it's going to open up the canopy, allow sunlight to come through, and if I can get in here and burn first, it's going to allow that much more soil just to be exposed and that much native seed that's dormant in the ground to be exposed to that sun, and it's going to grow up very, very quickly. But my goal is to create a lot of native browse and edge before you come into this food plot. Hopefully it's going to act like a staging area. The deer are going to come in, they're going to have this thick area about 60 yards before they even get into the property. Another thing it's going to do is going to create a great bedding area right next to the food plot, so when I'm hunting this food plot, it's going to make the hunting a lot better. I won't have to wait until that very last second for these deer to hopefully come out, because they're going to be bedded so close. By the time they start moving, it's not going to take them very long before they're right in the food plot or up in this native browsing, and I'll be up in my tree stand. Now I want to show you guys this area because it's exactly what I'm wanting to do with this hilltop. You can see hopefully back here that there's an existing stump where the loggers had come in last year and taken out that tree. I did a pretty good select cut with the loggers last year on this property, but what I want to do now is I want to go in, I want to strategically go in and pretty much clear cut some of these areas and really create some bedding area. The areas I'm going to be focusing on are perimeters around my food plots, south-facing hill slopes, and just some of those sanctuary areas that I already know the deer really love, and I just want to improve them. But if you look here, you got a lot of raspberry, you got a lot of grasses and forbs that have grown up in here just by eliminating that one tree. And if I can come in here and eliminate a lot of these trees in this area by hinge cutting, some of them I'm just going to completely take out, it's really going to open up the forest floor, and I'm going to have a lot of this native vegetation and browse and bedding. So you're creating a really nice bedding area, but you're also creating basically a food plot that's just going to be a native food plot before the deer get to the other food plot that you planted. This is pretty cool here. The deer have just really loved this hill slope. Last year I started creating an edge feathering up there. You can see here, a really nice good rub. Got a really nice good rub there. The bucks really seem to stage up in here, and actually there's another rub over there. But I was finding some good bedding up in here, and a lot of deer activity. You can see right here, I got some pretty fresh deer scat right there. But that's something I really want to encourage you guys to do. There's some more deer scat. Man, they have been in here like crazy. And there's another rub. Is really go in and look at your native habitat on your property and see how you can improve it. It can be a lot more cost effective and a lot more beneficial to your deer and to your property, rather than going in and creating what looks like to us an appealing food plot. That's great, you created a food source there, but one thing that I've really got to focus on this year is I've got the food, I've got the water, I've got pretty good habitat, but I would say if anything's kind of lacking, it's the habitat to grow and hold, you know, big bucks. I've got the does in here, but I've really got to work on building up structure so the bucks feel safe. You can separate them out a lot more, and it's just going to be a whole lot better. So I hope you guys are looking forward to these vlogs, because there's going to be a lot of management vlogs this year. If you're looking forward to them, comment down below what you're looking forward to seeing, because I'll make sure to film everything that I can. If you guys are wanting to hit on a specific topic, then I want to make sure that I can make a video on that. So comment down below, tell me what you enjoyed about this episode. It's just primarily talking about getting ready to burn. We got burns coming up, a lot of timber stand improvement. Food plots are going to be coming up. We got frost seeding, and there's actually probably my parents right there. Yep, because we're going to be starting to work on their property that I surprised them with earlier this year, if you saw that video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to comment down below, give a big thumbs up, and until next time, have a better than average day. Won't you